So we continue out here in Denver as we're getting ready for a good card. Brendan Schaub gets the luxury. Is it a luxury? You get to fight in your backyard.
Yeah, I think so. I fought in this arena 4 times before, so I'm familiar with my surroundings here, and man, fighting in front of the home crowd, you can ask for more.
And we've got a welcome to Denver weather.
That's right.
Not that it's bad,
No.
but I heard it was like 55, 60 all week, and then, of course, we get in here, a lot of us get in here, it's like 30 and snowy.
Yeah, that's Denver, man. One day it'll be 75, and you'll be wearing flip-flops and sandals, and shorts, and then the next day it's snow. So it should get nice by fight time.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about what's going on here in Denver now is it's become a pretty good fight scene, and there are a lot of guys around the country who don't get to stay home, don't get to have an awesome training camp, don't get a chance to have all those great fighters. I mean, it's worked out pretty nicely for you. How did it all come together where, Marquardt winds up here, then you've got Caro in here, and then you've got other guys coming in?
Man, it was kind of, Elliot Marshall's, we were all spread out. Elliot Marshall's up north in Boulder. Nate Marquardt owns a gym in Aurora, and Shane and I started there. So we obviously met Nate there, and then Nate was like, hey, you got to check out Trevor Whitman's. He's a boxing coach. And then everyone started to meet there to help each other out because everyone had their strengths. And then, Nate had a connection with Greg Jackson. Then we just started this whole team, and then George St. Pierre came down. Then we're going up to Montreal, and then it's just this tremendous team now. It's awesome.
So what was it like a couple of years ago when you weren't getting a chance to work with guys like this?
It was just Shane and I. It's just big Shane and I spent about 2 years underneath him, basically just getting beat up for about 2 years.
I mean, I would think your improvement has to go through the roof when every day you walk in there, not only against high-level guys, but it seems like everyone's falling at the same point in terms of training for fights upcoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for our team, you can ask for more. Everyone's getting ready for fights. Everyone's sharp. Shane has a title fight coming up, an interim title fight against Frank Mir. And my opponent has some similarities to Shane. And my footwork, for Shane is good against Frank Mir. So you can ask for more.
So I saw you up on Twitter the last couple of days. A lot of birthday wishes, right? 27?
Yeah, 27.
There you go. Happy birthday. So you're going back and forth with some of the fans. When you first lost in the finale of last season's reality show, did you get anything negative? Did you get any of the stuff? Because I know Roy Nelson gets a lot of it. Hey, he's the fat guy. When he beat Kimbo, he gets killed. Did you get any? How'd you lose to the fat guy?
Nothing too bad. No. Yeah, I have a pretty good fan support. And, actually, God, I guess I'm likable, because I didn't get too much bad stuff, man, which is good.
I was going to say, you didn't do anything on the reality show that they could have shown that would have put you in a bad light, or you were very careful?
Oh, I knew what was up, man, and it's just that's my character. That's not me, man.
Yeah, it's good facing the villain too, and Roy embraces the villain role.
He does. You got to have him. Roy, Brock does it well, so you got to have those guys.
So that fight, obviously, you're doing what you needed to do. You're moving. You're making it into a boxing match. You're making sure that you're not going to the ground, and then all of a sudden you get caught. And it's basically it's a heavyweight fight, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm I consider myself a knockout artist, and with 4-ounce gloves on, no one goes undefeated unless you're Fedor, I guess. So, man, I made a mistake, got caught behind the ear. It was definitely a tough pill to swallow, but it's part of the game. It is part of the game, and I'll come back 10 times the fighter. I think you guys will see that on Sunday.
Is that one of those cases when you're in there and you get caught with the first shot, you don't realize you're hurt, or do you notice it immediately?
That one, it instantly hit me behind the ear, and I was out. Yeah. Right behind the ear. I think a 155-pounder could hit me behind the ear in that spot. So the good thing is it has nothing to do with your chin or anything like that. I slipped with my jab, and I ended up missing him and exposing the back of my neck. So it was a costly mistake, and at the UFC level, this stuff happens.
Yeah. With the way they work with a roster, I think it might be a little different at heavyweight because I think they may have a little more patience trying to develop the ranks at heavyweight. But do you feel pressure as a guy who, you make it to the reality finals, you lose to a good opponent in Roy Nelson, so you didn't lose to a schlub. Do you feel pressure as a guy? It's like, I got to get wins here, or, they only have so many fighters on the roster, and they don't have a problem. The reality show guys, they're matching you up against a good opponent here. They don't have a problem going, hey, it's 2 fights and get the hell out if you're not getting the job done. You saw what happened with Nover.
Yeah. That's part of the game. The UFC only signs like I said, world-class guys. So, I mean, that's always kind of, something you got to think about. For me, I know if I just train hard and I fight to my abilities, that's not something I have to worry about.
Were you surprised that they didn't latch on to more of the guys off of the show? I thought there were some pretty good prospects on the show. The Ren Madsen fight wasn't a great fight. I thought Justin deserved another chance, and now he's probably got to fight his way back. But were you surprised that they didn't recognize that there were more prospects, or maybe there weren't? Were there not enough prospects on the show?
I think there's a couple of guys like you said. Ren is definitely a tough guy. Yeah, it's the UFC. You can't have everyone off the show, And on the show, there were some bad fights, as far as gassing out and stuff like that. So, Joe Silva and Dana White know what they're doing.
Is there a negative on the whole roster deal and taking prospects off the show? The fact that we knew Kimbo was going to be on. He obviously has a draw. But was Mitrione one of the top 5 guys on the show? I mean, you're giving me the smirk.
Get me in trouble, man.
No, you can say it. I mean, but I will say on the flip side, that is part of the deal. I mean, that is part of the deal is to sell yourself. And if you can act like a jackass who's polarizing, not that Matt's a jackass. I liked what he did on the show, but if you can act like that, that does get you more time sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. You look at a guy like Matt's a good guy. He the stress and the pressure of the house got to him a little bit, so he did some antics. But shoot, man, he has a contract, and I was in the finals, so was Roy, and, neither one of us fighting Kimbo Slice. That's a huge fight, man. So whatever he did paid off. You look at guys like a Junie Browning, though, from the Ultimate Fighter, and, it didn't pay off, man. People could not wait to see that kid lose. So one thing about Matt, he does have talent, and he has speed in his hands, especially for a big guy. So I think if he gets to the right camp and, his head's on straight, Kimbo's going to have his hands full.
All right, we could have a flooding of NFL athletes. Or is that overdoing it? To take it easy on the NFL athletes, yeah. Until you get in there and get punched in the face, then they don't know.
Yeah, it takes a different animal. You can be athletic, you can run the 40 and a 4.3, whatever, 8% body fat, whatever you want to do. You got to have a different mindset when you get punched in the face.
Yeah. Actually, the guy I want to see, and I think he's going to do it maybe next year or 2 years from now, he's going to be like 36 then, is Stephen Neal, who wrestled Lesnar in college, but he's already talked about it, and I think he just got signed, but, he's probably on his last contract. I would think he'd have to be able to do something if he's, NCAA Division I wrestling champ and could beat Lesnar. He's got to have some skill set.
Yeah. He's going to have good footwork being an O-lineman, especially, not only is he an O-lineman, but he's a starter in the league, especially for a world champion team in the New England Patriots. So, yeah, that guy could definitely pose some threat.
And he's a sick athlete both ways, because who walks into the NFL after basically not playing and then gets a start for a Super Bowl champ?
Yeah. There's monsters everywhere lurking out there. So that's why you train hard, man. As a smaller heavyweight, those monsters it gets old, man. It gets old.